Joining me now, retired Marine Corps Gunnery Sergeant Jessie Jane Duff. She's also co-chair of Women for Trump. Gunny, it's great seeing you. It's been too long, but this is a great occasion. Talk to us about some of these steps and why it's different from what's already in place.
Exactly. This is vastly different than what we've ever seen before. First of all, 20 veterans are killing themselves a day. And what we've recognized after much research is that only 6 out of 14 of them are even tied to the Veterans Administration. This is not necessarily a VA issue. This is a society issue. This is a community issue. And now we are recognizing we have to have outreach to other employers. There are many, many veterans that don't utilize the VA. There's 22.5 million veterans in this country, and maybe only 9% are utilizing the VA. So how do we reach those other veterans? Through their employers, through community outreach, through other opportunities such as Mighty Oaks Warrior Foundation, which I noticed during this press conference. They focused on the Wounded Warriors organization, but I know personally the guy that runs Mighty Oaks Warrior Foundation, and well over 1,000 veterans have gone to him who were suicidal, and they have not lost one to suicide. So we're now looking at an outreach of having faith-based, peer-to-peer, and clinical combined, whereas often the VA cannot touch on the faith-based because of your separations of government and faith, but you must have that also for veterans who have strong faith. So this is an incredible opportunity for this nation to address this problem and get the communities involved and get people identified who may be at risk.
Right. I see where I was reading over some of the plan, employee pledge and toolkit for employers. How does that look? Are these employers going to be contacted? And because employers really, I know they want to help, but they may not know how to.
Yes, often the society itself does not know how to help people who may be suicidal. And we have seen a lot of suicides just simply across society as a whole because of people that have felt hopeless. So now we're going to try to ensure that we have employers with the toolkits that are available if they should identify somebody who could be going through that type of anxiety or stress or whatever it is that may be a mental health issue. This has been something often buried. People have seen suicide as a sign of weakness and the temptation to do such. Often these warriors are some of the toughest people you would ever meet, but they come back to society after seeing multiple people killed or death or injury, and they have often survivor guilt themselves. So this is a way that employers can address those issues without people being terminated from employment.
My father came back from Vietnam with survivor's guilt. He was on two missions, and every one of his comrades were killed both times, so he was never the same. We got to wrap this up, but how should we be bracing for this pandemic to maybe even make this a greater challenge?
Well, I think with the pandemic that we're noticing that the White House has been very aggressive about testing and ensuring that people all have access to ensure that they do or do not have this virus, so that we have opportunity for veterans themselves or others in society can get treatment early. This is not going to be a reactionary thing now. We are being proactive. And I think the veterans out there are going to have access to those same tools.
Sergeant Duff, Gunny, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Charles.